Hey boys and girls, good afternoon. We are going to be analyzing bar graphs today for math. Now yesterday we worked on making bar graphs, so today we're going to analyze them, which is just a fancy way of saying that we're going to answer and make questions based on our bar graphs. Alright, so in one of the groups yesterday, this was the bar graph that we made to show our favorite ice cream flavors. And we used a tally chart to collect our information, and then we took our information from our tally chart and put it in on our bar graph. So today we're going to be able to look at this bar graph and answer some questions about it. In other words, we're going to analyze it. That's a really cool word. So if we look at question number 1 down here, it says, which ice cream flavor was the most popular? Well, when I think of popular, and as far as a bar graph, I want to think about which one has the most votes. Well, I know that over here it says number of votes, and we have our numbers. So I know that if I look through each of them, I can tell how many votes they got. Well, chocolate got 5 votes, vanilla got 1, strawberry got 2, and cookies and cream got 8 votes. So now it's just a matter of comparing those numbers and seeing which one is bigger. Well, I know that 8 is bigger than 5, 1, or 2. So 8 is the most. So which ice cream flavor was the most popular? I'm going to say cookies and cream. Okay. Another way that we could tell, or a way that we could tell that it is the most popular, was we compared the numbers. So how do you know? We looked at how many votes it had, but there's also another way to tell which is the most popular, and this one may even be easier. I'm just going to look, if it says the most popular, that means it has the most votes, that means it should be the tallest graph. So if I look through, I can easily see that the cookies and cream has the tallest bar. So I'm going to put CC for print in to abbreviate cookies and cream. So cookies and cream has the tallest bar. So that is how I know, because the question says, how did you know which one was the most popular? Well, I know because we looked at how many votes it had, and cookies and cream had the tallest bar. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, number 2 says, which had more votes, chocolate or vanilla? So notice it's saying chocolate or vanilla, so our answer is either going to be chocolate or vanilla. Which had more votes? So I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to look at chocolate and vanilla and see which one had more votes. So chocolate had 5 votes. I'm going to write 5 up here so we can see it. And vanilla had 1. Well, when I compare those, I know that 5 is bigger than 1, and chocolate had 5. So chocolate had more votes. Pretty simple so far. All right, this last one says, what is the difference between cookies and cream and strawberry? So the difference, that's a key word right there. That tells me that I need to subtract. So if it ever says, what is the difference between, and it tells you 2 categories, you know you're going to subtract them. Between cookies and cream and strawberry. Well, let's see. Cookies and cream has 8. Right, let me go back. Cookies and cream had 8. Let me write that down. And I'm comparing it to strawberry. Strawberry had 2. So if I'm trying to find the difference, like we said, that would be subtraction. So I'm going to subtract these out. 8 minus 2 is 6. So what is the difference between cookies and cream and strawberry? I'm going to say 6 votes. That's the difference. Let's look at another one. So when I first see this graph, this isn't one that we made, so I automatically know that I need to kind of read a little bit on it to see what it's all about so I can understand. I'm first going to notice my title. It says Summer Camp Signups. I'm going to notice my categories down here at the bottom. The label says Summer Camps, and the categories say Drama, Math, Cheerleading, and Band. So I know that these are all different types of summer camps. And over here on the left, on my y-axis, because we have our y and our x-axis, I know on my y-axis it says those are the number of sign-ups. So that tells me these are the number of people that signed up for each of these different summer camps. So now that I have a little bit better of an understanding of what this graph is talking about, I can answer my questions. How many people signed up for cheerleading? Well, it says how many, so I know my answer is going to be a number. So cheerleading, not drama, not math. There it is, cheerleading. So I'm going to go up and see how many cheerleading has. When I go up and go over, 4. So that means 4 people signed up for cheerleading. Done. Number 2, which club had the least amount of people sign up? Ooh, least is like the key word there. Least I know is kind of like smallest. So which one had the smallest amount of people sign up? Well, certainly not band. That bar is the tallest. But drama is the smallest. It's shorter than all of them. So drama would be the one that had the least amount of people that signed up for it. They only had 3. Then it says, what is the title of the graph? Oh, well, we just read the title a minute ago, so we can answer that. The title of the graph is Summer Camp Signups. So I would write Summer Camp Signups. Hey, this is pretty easy, guys. I hope you feel the same way. This last question says, what unit of measurement is used? In other words, how are they measuring all this information? Now, don't let those words confuse you. It just means, what are we doing here? How are we measuring things? How are we figuring out how many people are in each one? Well, we're counting the number of signups. So the measurement is the number of signups. Notice that is what is along our y-axis right here, our number of signups, because that's telling us what number of people signed up for each one. So that's how we're measuring which one is the most popular, which one's the least popular. Let's look at one more together. All right. So this one is kind of interesting. There's a lot more bars on this one if you notice. It talks about birthdays of students by month. It has the months down here, and then it says number of students on the side. So this is each month, and then these bars tell us how many students had a birthday in that month. Interesting. So the question says, which month has the most number of birthdays? Well, most should also mean like the tallest, maybe. So I'm going to look for the tallest graph, the tallest bar on our graph, excuse me. These are pretty short. This one right here looks pretty tall so far. Let me double check. Yep, when I go across, none of the other ones are taller than this one. So this is going to be our tallest one, which if we go down, that is June. So June has the most number of birthdays. That was pretty easy. Let's look at number 2. Which month has the second least number of birthdays? Whoa, a lot of language there. Has the second least number of birthdays. So maybe not the one that has the very least, but the next one up. So not the one that has the smallest number or the fewest number, but the next one up, the second least one. So first let's find the smallest one. That appears to be August. August seems to be pretty small, but it doesn't want the least one. It wants the second least. So I'm going to look for the next biggest one. Is it April? Well, March right here is a little bit smaller than April, so it appears that March would be the next one that is the smallest. I like that. So here we have March. Notice it's not the smallest. It didn't ask me for the least, which one has the least number. It said which one has the second least number. I think you guys are going to get this just fine. Number 3, how many birthdays are in December and January combined? Okay, so let's look at December and January. Let me take these off. So we have December and January. So if I know that they have to be combined, that's a key word to tell me I need to add them, right? So we'll look at January. January has, well, I know it has 3 because it falls right in the middle of 2 and 4, so that tells me it has 3. So January has 3 plus December has, if I go over, it's not 6, but it's not quite to 8, so that means it's right in the middle at 7. 7. So December has 7. So if I add together 3 plus 7, that gives me 10. So that's how I know how many are there combined. Didn't ask me one or the other or which one had more. It said how many do they have combined. This last one says how many students participated in all. Whoa, in all is almost like combined, right? So I think I'm also going to add for this one. But it says how many students participated in all. If I know that my numbers represent the number of students with birthdays in that month, I really should just have to take all of my months and add them together. So I could go through and find out how many each one has, and then I could add all those numbers together. The last thing that I'm going to show you, boys and girls, is I just want us to actually pay attention to this graph right here. I want you to know that sometimes our bar graphs, you should be able to tell a difference between this bar graph and this one. Hopefully you notice that the bars are going in the opposite way. So before our bars were going up and down, but now our bars are going from left to right. This is still a bar graph. It's just the opposite way. This would be considered a horizontal bar graph, meaning the bars go from left to right. But it's still a bar graph. And we can still answer all of these questions about it if we need to. I just wanted to show you that so you know that bar graphs can go both ways. They can be side to side or up and down, and they're still bar graphs. So you've had a lot of examples, and I think you're going to get this really easy. So what you're going to do today is you are actually going to look at the bar graph that you made yesterday about Skittles, based on the pictures of Skittles, and then you are going to answer the questions that are on the Canvas assignment about your bar graph. If you lost your bar graph or you can't find it or you did it on a dry erase board, go back to the picture from yesterday and you can make a quick bar graph about it now that you know how to do that. Go ahead and make it and then you can do it. It asks you to do a file upload of a video, to upload a video of yourself. If the video is not working, you can type your answers in the text box. Then that would be fine. Good luck, guys.